The first SUV for Hyundai in America was the Santa Fe, and the new Santa Fe coming early next year is going to be taking on the Highlander from Toyota and Toyota's new Land Cruiser potentially at the same time. Let's get into it. So how is the new Santa Fe taking on Toyota's Highlander? Well, it has standard a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine like the Highlander, and it gets 3 rows of seats once again. And it also has a powertrain that's like the Land Cruiser, which is a turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid, not nearly as powerful as what we see with 326 horsepower. It's got like 228, so about 100 horsepower less than the Land Cruiser. But if you want an SUV, well, I know it's not body on frame, but if you want this boxy nature and you don't have 55 to 65, 70K to plop on a Land Cruiser, you can get the pretty much the same-ish look out of it. It's not going to have the same pedigree, but this thing also has a splash of Defender on it as well. So we're looking at a specific color right here. It's called Earthy Brass Metallic. It's one of 11 exterior paint colors. I showed this to my wife, Cassie. She is really into that. This paint color would probably be her first choice. We'll take a look at another paint color here in a little bit. But this rear hatch is enormous. And there's that 3rd row of seats that's back in the Santa Fe. There's the H headlights, which, what do you guys think? What do you think of Hyundai redesigning their logo from the handshake H logo with the circle, oblong circle around it, compared to if they just change it to this blocky H as a logo? I don't know. I think it's very modern if they did that. And then the back. Look at the back. Now, when I first saw the back, what was it, a couple weeks back when it was revealed in its domestic market in South Korea, the back end really didn't sit well with me. After it's been permeating my brain cells for a few weeks, it's not bothering me nearly as much. And I like how we kind of have, when you open the hatch, we got these little blinkers at the bottom or turn indicators. I like how horizontal they are. And when I was editing, I just noticed, where is the rear windshield wiper? They've really cleaned up the back window. Because if we look at the old Santa Fe, its back end is, well, yeah, there it is. Okay. It's not offensive really in any way, the rear end. It's pretty generic rear crossover. This big old square, holy smokes, where's that rear windshield wiper? Well, it's probably taking a little Lexus RX where they tuck it in underneath the rear spoiler. So I love that design feature. Really cleans up the back end here and puts the emphasis on the rest of the styling. So well done, Hyundai. The ground clearance has increased on this. This vehicle is taller than the old Santa Fe. It has a longer wheelbase than the old Santa Fe, and it's probably a little bit longer as a result as well. Okay, this is the other color. This is a terracotta orange. Again, one of 11 colors. They also have also black, white, silver, gray, electronic gray matte. They have the red. They have the brass that we showed. Atlantis blue pearl, Hampton gray, terracotta orange, Rockwood green pearl. Now, most of those paint colors have fancier names like that, but we'd be here all day if I said, curated silver metallic along with every single paint color. Okay, so here, we don't have a lot of cargo space behind the 3rd row. And that is what the Highlander also just shares a lack of, and that's why Toyota brought out the Grand Highlander, and that's why Hyundai has the Palisade. So if you need more space that this occasional 3rd row just can't provide, there is there's maybe some hidden storage, but there is very little behind there. Now, we also have maybe some additional plugins back here. Looks like a USB-C, and we'll go into the individual images as well, but the captain's chairs fold flat here, but don't be surprised if you can get this in a bench as well, so you could seat 7. I guess this one would be a 6-seater. I like the vertical vents here. Maybe it's not quite as good as having the roof vents, but at least they're not down here in the console, which is not the greatest place for vents. It's going to cool down your knees, but not your face. We have a lot of hooks on the back of this seat, which is great for putting bags. You also have USBs on the back here. And check out this little piece here. This is something you see in Genesis models. This allows you to move this front seat to make it a more luxurious experience for these people in the back, more legroom. So don't see why that's necessary on a Santa Fe, but hey, more is better, right? I like the center console that can open up from the back, again, making this more of like a chauffeur experience. And I don't know if we have details, but I doubt that this is cooled or like a cool box or a chiller, but that would be pretty baller. All right, lots of USBs here, and I guess we'll break it down with the more detailed images in a little bit. Dual 12-inch screens. Looks like we have a pano moonroof on this. This is probably the calligraphy model. I'm not 100% sure, but I like the light interior. I like this faux wood, and it looks like we have a two-tone with green, which green and orange go well together. Just look at your average pumpkin. We have this green accent on the dash. It's covering the steering wheel and even the steering wheel column, and it's on the top of the doors as well. So I'm digging this interior quite a bit, like the orange paint color. We'll break down the images, and then we'll get into pricing of this vehicle. We'll get a little bit more into the powertrain details as well. So side profile of this thing looks cool. That's all I'm going to say. It looks really cool. What other mainstream vehicle has this sort of radical boxy design to it? I think Hyundai's got something that's more desirable here than, I keep bringing up the Highlander because the Highlander sells like 300,000+ units a year. We'll talk about the sales of this vehicle in a little bit, but like in terms of design, I'm not a big fan of the Highlander, and the Grand Highlander is maybe a little safe as well. But the current Highlander, for the most part, it's not my cup of tea. This is badass. I'll just say that. It's pretty cool, and I like how they're not playing it safe. They're being edgy with the light design, the light bar, the boxy, the angles, the double roof. So it's not just one solid roof. You have a front sunroof and then a rear sunroof for the rear passengers. Doesn't bother me one bit. I like that option of having that second roof. Even the lines on the hood are very simple, but flow very well with the rest of the hard angles. Looks awesome. Even from this angle, it looks more a little Expedition-like, a little maybe Lincoln Navigator-like as well. We got large 21-inch wheels on this model. There's that large lift gate. They really are selling also that lifestyle that more free. You can travel with this vehicle. It provides lots of space and customization with the interior as well. Okay, speaking of interior, I mentioned the green dash with the nice beige contrast. I like the stitching on here. This little button, I'm assuming, opens this big piece here. I haven't watched anyone else's videos on this vehicle today, so there are other hands-on impressions, and I'll do everything I can, guys, to be there for the media drive for this Santa Fe, because this vehicle is right in the wheelhouse of a family like mine, right? I'd be able to break this down with a dad's eyes, which would be awesome. So Hyundai, if you're watching, I'm going to come to this Santa Fe event one way or another. And by the way, I will be there for the Kona drive, the new redesigned Kona. Really excited for that vehicle. Stay tuned. That'll be coming up soon, about a month from now on the channel. All right, we have ambient lighting here. This yellow ambient lighting goes well with the green accents. We have dual wireless chargers here. We also have this USB portion that looks awesome. You press the center button here and that'll switch between charging and data for Android Auto, for example, or charging only with a faster rate, which is badass. I love that feature. I'm a big fan of power banks and chargers. So yeah, maybe I'll put some stuff in the description if you want to check out my latest charger, a power bank for when I go over to Japan. I got a long flight for the Tokyo Mobility Show. Dual climate control here. Now, this is in Celsius, so this is probably from the Korean press release. But anyways, we have the Bose sound system on the A-pillar here. Love the steering wheel with the Hyundai emblem replaced by the 4 dots, which is H and Morse code, I believe. We also have this blue illumination running through all the buttons and switchgear and even the memory seats, which might be a little much at night, but hopefully you can dim all that pretty well. Okay, the shifter is no longer a button style in the old Santa Fe, where you just have like 5,000 buttons in this general area. Now you have it on the steering wheel column, like the Ioniq 5, for example. All right, there's your dual 12-inch screens here. You also have a fingerprint sensor all the way here on the left. And it looks like you have an eyeball sensor for upgraded safety features as well. So maybe like a traffic jam assist that we see on some competitors options. Underfloor storage or under console storage here with a hidden 12 volt for accessory power. That's pretty cool. Large cup holders here as well. And even look, the cup holders look to be in the same general design as the wheel overarches or the fenders. So pretty cool. And I love the straight streamlined nature here. We have that light bar in the front of the vehicle and the grille. And we also have this straight across grille that is very seamless, feels like one piece on the dash. The new Cadillac Escalade IQ kind of has that same seamless nature to it, but that's all screens on the front, which to me is a little bit tacky, a little gaudy. I like having this soft touch, more natural, calm front end in front of the passenger here instead of having a bunch of screens in front of their face, which if you turn them off, it's still an ugly screen. You know, you can't remove it. All right, let's keep moving. Very pretty. I guess we don't really need to talk about anything here, but the steering wheel is a more rugged looking than the old steering wheel. More of that lifestyle that they're trying to play. And then we have, guys, check this out. It's not 2,400 watts like we see in the Land Cruiser, 1,500 watts that we see on, let's say, the Highlander hybrid, which I don't know. Does the Highlander hybrid have that accessory? I'm not 100% sure. I know that the Grand Highlander does for 1,500 watts, but you have 200 watts here for AC plug-in, which is going to be enough for most laptops, I would say. And you also have this USB-C here for accessory power as well. A couple cup holders here. Looks pretty cozy. Put a couple blankets down, a couple pillows, fold all the seats down, and and I like this. Oh, and I just got distracted by the headroom here for the third row. Look how this bubbles up. That's going to be great for the third row passengers if you're taller than 5 feet, probably. All right, look at this. Look at them kit this guy out. Now, this is totally like a render. It's not like a real actual model, but look at the wire here to brush branches away. You have a GoPro here connected to the fender. Look at these meaty. I mean, these wheels actually look a little big. They look like 19s or 20s. They should be like 18s. But yeah, look at these all-terrain tires. You have these accessories on the side. I can't even tell you what that is, this little chunky thing, but it looks cool. This looks like a external storage locker on the C-pillar. This is the XRT model. Interesting. So I wonder if these are going to be XRT accessories that you can get from the dealership. I don't expect all these features to be available on the XRT model. So it'll be interesting to see how they equip it. But I love this roof rack, and I like how is this going to work? How are you going to get the rear hatch open with this ladder? But it looks amazing. Oh, it's an XRT concept. There you go. So holy smokes, this thing looks incredible. All right. There's the orange models, and there's the interior, the old car, which looks so granny and outdated compared to, oh my gosh, what a huge upgrade. And I think this is a good segue. With an upgrade like this, exterior, interior, and desirability, what are we going to see for an upgrade in price? Holy cow. Well, the current Santa Fe starts at $28,000. Now, there's a big difference here, and that difference is the powertrain. We no longer have the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine for the North American market. They're offering that base powertrain in other markets, but not here. So they're scrapping that. The entry-level model is either the 2.5 turbo with 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque, 8-speed automatic transmission. I don't know if it's going to be all-wheel drive standard or front-wheel drive, so stay tuned for that. But you're also going to have the 1.6-liter turbo hybrid with 228 horsepower, 226 horsepower, somewhere in there. And that model, if we go to this guy right here, it starts at $36,000. So I honestly think we're going to see a massive jump in base price here, but you're getting a lot more powertrain and a lot more vehicle and technology as a result. So expect pricing to start around this, in my opinion, $35,000, $36,000 for the new Santa Fe. Also gone, which I just reviewed, and I'm kind of glad I did because they discontinued it, at least for now. It's going to be available in Europe and other markets, is the plug-in hybrid, which probably is seeing no sort of major differences compared to the one I just reviewed a few months back, honestly. But it was just too expensive and no longer qualifies for the EV tax credit. And it'll only be a matter of time before they start offering it here in America again, I think. I think that plug-in hybrid, if priced right and qualified for the EV tax credit, would be awesome for this. And it would be, if it's priced right, and gets an EV tax credit, it would be the powertrain of choice. But check this out. The turbo model starts off right here at $40,000. So expect this turbo model, or if you want the turbo powertrain, it'll probably start at 40,000 and the calligraphy go all the way up to about 50,000 or more. Got to think, this is going straight at the Highlander in terms of pricing. So I got some Highlander pricing up here. The Platinum tops off at $49,000. So I think this is aiming directly at the Highlander, starting in the mid 30s, going straight up to the upper 40s, low 50s. And it might get, you know, it may be, possibly, especially if the XRT model looks as good as it shows, they might be taking a small chunk out of Land Cruiser sales for people, you know, obviously it's not going to be quite as capable. It's not body on frame. It's not going to have center or rear locker. It might have a center locker, but I doubt it'll have a rear locker. The hybrid will have a drive shaft going to the rear wheels. The turbo will have a drive shaft going to the rear wheels as well, at least in the all-wheel drive models. And the hybrids more than likely will be all-wheel drive only, unless they want to offer a front-wheel drive to lower the entry price, which is possible. So stay tuned for that. I said I'd mention sales, so let's get into it. In 2017, 2016, 2017, this thing peaked at over 130,000 units sold, and we got close back in 2022, and here in 2023, they might get back to 130,000 units now that most of the shortages are behind Hyundai and most of the other automakers there. And with this new redesign, holy smokes, they could be pushing 150,000 sales per year potentially. But anyways, I'll see you guys down below. What do you think of the new Santa Fe? This thing is a styling showcase for Hyundai. How well it will age is anybody's guess, right? It's retro and futuristic all at the same time, but that interior I think will age very, very well. And yeah, the tech in it looks great. The design on the interior is just awesome. Anyways, I'll see you guys down below. Smash the like button if you made it this far. Smash the like button for the Hyundai Santa Fe. And I'll do my best to get on that media drive probably by the end of the year or early next year. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.